Hello everybody and welcome, I am Bricker Boom, and happy late Halloween, and if you've already heard All I Want for Christmas Is You, I apologize. If you've been following my channel since last October, you know that I tried a Chandelure run last year, and then this year, while attempting the Chandelure run, I got sick enough to actually require going to the hospital. So, this run now has cost me my own time, my health, 2 years in a row, and I think that at least deserves a like on the video. So, we're back with the upgraded game that we played last time around, and this time, we're getting to use one of my all-time favorite Pokemon, probably ever. It goes Snorlax, Heracross, Chandelure, top 3. For this, though, we're going to go ahead and name ourselves Ghostface, or at least a butchered version of Ghostface, since that is our most favorite horror movie icon, and I had started playing this before Halloween. Shout out to the movie coming next year. As a review, Chandelure is a third stage Pokemon with an incredible design and pretty good stats all around, aside from its physical attack. This one in particular has the Flame Body ability, meaning physical moves will decrease in power if it ends up burning, so our survivability may actually be a little bit better than usual, especially as we get into the back half of the game. For our moveset, it's not too bad. The level up moveset isn't the best by any means, but the moves that we can teach it via TM are pretty solid overall, but as I look into it and think about the game as a whole, I don't think aside from Psychic, I don't think there's much that we're going to have to teach it because it gets Fire and Ghost moves right off the bat. Shadow Ball I don't think is going to be accessible because there's no Game Corner prizes here, so I think we may just have to roll with what we got. For the beginning, the rival can't touch us, given the fact that we have that ghost typing, and although our attacking move isn't very effective on it, we take it down without too much of an issue. And then from there, for that same reason, we'll go ahead and move our way over to the optional rival fight, and with that, it's more of the same. Pidgey, the only thing that it can actually do is lower our accuracy. Neither of them can actually hit us. Worst case scenario, if we did somehow run out of PP before hitting it, we would still probably win the struggle exchange. Now, we'll go ahead and start burning our way through the forest, and in the event you've never watched this channel or played this version, this is Pokemon 898, which introduces a lot more Pokemon to catch in the wild. It makes gym leaders at least a little bit stronger. They have access to a few more healing items earlier on, and they're also more prone to switch out if it means that they can save their Pokemon. Also, since this video is likely to come out the first week of November, what did y'all do to celebrate Halloween? I spent it being sick, but I did get to go trick-or-treating with my kid, so that was nice, but I'll update you more on that here soon. For now, though, we need to go ahead and see if we can fight Brock. Brock can probably be a bit of an issue for us, given how Rock Tomb will be super effective, even if Onix isn't as powerful as an Oddish. That damage will start to rack up pretty quickly this early on in the game, especially since it'll also wreck our speed. So, with Brock, he opens with Geodude, and we open with Flame Burst, taking it into the yellow as it uses Defense Curl, and then we can just go ahead and take it down next turn. After that, Onix comes out, and Rock Tomb does some decent damage and lowers our speed, as we use Hex to take it into the yellow. Another Rock Tomb connects, taking us all the way to 5 HP, and then we can take it down to win the battle and run away with the first badge. Now that we're on the way to Cerulean City, I can go ahead and explain a little bit about what happens, since I already told you earlier to like and subscribe. And if I forgot, like and subscribe. Friday, my kid got sick, then by Saturday, he was fine. We went to a small little get-together a friend was having, had pizza, hung out, totally fine. Around midnight that night, my wife started feeling sick, and spent the entire night being sick. Sunday morning rolled around, kiddo got sick again, so I said, alright, let's go ahead, took them both to the hospital. Got them checked out, home by mid-afternoon, everything is good, they were on the mend. I was like, cool. It's only one day, they're already feeling better, great. Monday morning rolls around and I feel fine, until about noon, and that's when everything for me went downhill. Between the hours of 12 and 3, I spent more time in the bathroom that period than I have in the past probably month, then went to the hospital and was stuck there for 6 hours. They did not want me to leave because my heart rate was elevated, and I'm like, well, yeah, that makes sense. I have been exploding, for lack of nastier details. I'm not going to go into any more than that. I'm worried about my kid, who now has school the next day because he's been feeling better for at least 48 hours. And it's past his bedtime because I have been here for 6 hours. Also, this room is freezing and my whole body is shaking, so no, I do not think I want to stay here anymore. Turns out, we all caught norovirus, a highly contagious and, again, to spare y'all in the details, just know that it causes you absolute misery. It is Thursday as I write this, still haven't finished that, and I'm now finally starting to feel like a normal human being again. After 3 days of misery, I was finally able to at least get the laptop out. Granted, it was only for about 30 minutes before exhaustion started to take over, but I'll take it. I am now recording this, at least this portion, on Saturday, probably not going to finish today, and aside from yesterday, where I was actually able to do a little bit, this is the first day that I feel like a human being, and unfortunately have to go back to work in 2 days. So it was a great vacation, y'all. Now that was a lot of story, and I appreciate if you're still here. I will include a timestamp thing if you want to skip that, I understand. But for now, we can go ahead and go fight Misty. Staryu's up first, so we get hit with Water Pulse and use Hex. Misty heals up as we take it back to yellow, and then we get knocked out. Yeah, no, we're probably gonna need a few more levels. Let's go ahead, we'll try the rival fight and see if that goes any differently for us. The rival first starts off with Pidgeotto, and we can open with Flame Burst, taking it into the low yellow. Sand Attack connects, and then we can take it down with another Flame Burst. Squirtle's up next, so we open with Hex, taking it into the yellow as Water Gun does some solid damage before it goes down. Rattata comes out next and is an easy one-shot, and then finally it's Abra, and it can't do anything, so it goes down pretty easy. After that, we're going to go ahead, head to the route to the north, grab some of the extra levels in EXP. With that extra EXP, we can at least go ahead and try to fight Misty again. Good news is, if we still can't beat her, we have plenty of people on the ship that we can fight. We're probably going to need to clear out some of them anyhow to make sure that we get the items that we need. But for now, let's go ahead and fight Misty again. Staryu now goes down to a single Hex, leaving us at full health for the Starmie. Starmie still does outspeed and takes us to not quite half with Water Pulse, and it confuses us, but we don't smack ourselves, or we're able to one-shot it as well to win us the second badge. Now, we'll go ahead, head south, go through the ship like we discussed earlier. Ultimately, there won't be much in regards to the TMs that we find on the ship, but there is, I think it's an Ether and an Elixir, one of those two. Because for the most part, our moveset currently covers what we need, and will probably continue to do so. So after we go ahead and clear out the few trainers that we need to, let's go ahead, fight the rival, see how we do. Pidgeotto's up first, and we open with Flame Burst, taking it down in one go. Then, next out is Eradicate, and we Flame Burst, taking it down as well. Wartortle's his next Pokemon, and Hex connects to take it to yellow, as Water Gun does some pretty solid damage before we take it down. Last but not least is his Kadabra, and we outspeed, taking it down with a single Hex. This and the tower battle are probably going to be the easiest ones that we see. For now, though, we'll give the captain a good old rub down, Dr. Boom style, head to the trash can puzzle and see if we can defeat that. Then, when that's all said and done, we can go ahead and see if we can beat Surge. Given our typing, I don't think that we'll have too many troubles with the man. Lieutenant Bob first sends out Voltorb, and we open with Flame Burst for a quick one-shot. Then after that, it's out to Pikachu, and another Flame Burst takes it down as well. As the Raichu comes out, it sets up Double Team, but we do connect with a Flame Burst, taking it to half as Surge potions up. We hit it again, taking it below half, and it uses Shockwave for decent damage. We then miss. Raichu does some decent damage with Shockwave before we take it down to win us the battle. Now that we have a good bit of travel ahead of us, we'll go ahead and at least get the upgrade with Psychic, but there's no place to buy Flamethrower, so this is probably going to be our moveset. I know that we can learn things like Fire Blast, but at the end of the day, one, I don't want to bank on a move that only has 5 PP, 8 if I have the items, so I will absolutely sacrifice power for 1, accuracy, and 2, more power points. I should have checked the Celadon market to see if there was anything there, but honestly, didn't think about it at the time until the game was already over. Either way, we'll go ahead and head to Erica first. Even if Flamethrower would have been more powerful, Flame Burst isn't that bad, and we can burn down all the grass types, then double back for Giovanni and the rival. Giovanni might actually be an issue with the rock types. If you didn't know, I typically write these as I go along, so even I'm not 100% sure how this is going to end while I write it. Now that we've gotten into Celadon, though, let's go ahead and fight Erica and see how things go for us. Erica first sends out Victory Bell, and we open with Flame Burst, taking it down in one shot. After that, it's out to Tangela, and a Flame Burst is enough to one-shot it as well. Then, it's out to Vileplume, and Flame Burst connects, taking it to a Sliver, but it just ends up missing Sleep Powder. Erica does heal up, we take it back to red, then we can take it down for a pretty easy battle. Now, let's go ahead and see how things will go against Giovanni. My guess is that this battle will be fine, but as we get into the later Giovanni fights, we'll definitely need to have Psychic equipped. Let's go ahead, see how things go. Worst case scenario, we can always run back to the tower and level up there if need be. Giovanni first starts off with Onyx, and we open with Flame Burst just to do some damage since we know that they'll have Sturdy. At least I'm pretty sure. It hits us with Gyro Ball. Except in my head, I wanted to say Euro Ball, but we do take it down next turn. Rhyhorn is next, and we Flame Burst again, taking it into the yellow as Smackdown does a good chunk of damage. Then we take it down. Last up is Kangaskhan, and Flame Burst takes it to below half as Bite does some solid damage. Then we take it down to win the battle. Alright, let's make our way back to the tower and we'll do the rival fight. At this point in the game, the rival fight is actually pretty laughable, but what we'll do is we'll get past that, then do a quick mid-game review of how Chandelure is doing. Pidgeotto's up first, and we open with Flame Burst as he immediately swaps to Growlithe, who has Flash Fire. That's fair. We swap over to Hex, taking it down in one shot. Wartortle is next, and Hex takes it into the red as Bubble does a good chunk of damage before we take it down. Pidgeotto comes back out onto the field as we use Flame Burst to one-shot it. From there, we Flame Broil some Scrambled Eggs for a one-shot. Then, last up is Kadabra, who goes down to a single Hex, winning us the battle. So, now that the first part of the game is over, we'll go ahead and kind of do our typical review. Chandelure, as I stated from the beginning of the video, is basically my top 3 Pokemon. It's a solid Pokemon, especially in these runs, and while it can't take too many hits, it's not really meant to. So far, it seems to be good at coming in, outspeeding, and then just kind of hoping for a one-shot. Flame Body hasn't done too much for us thus far, but it is possible as the game continues to go on, we'll find some more use for it, but I'm not sure. It would be good if Flame Body would proc, because then Hex does even more damage. Now that we're getting into the higher levels and have such a monstrous special attack, though, we're actually doing pretty alright for the most part. As we get into the back half of the game, I do think that Giovanni is still going to be an issue. The next biggest issue will probably be Blaine, since we can't do super effective damage to his Pokemon. But on the flip side, if they hit us with fire attacks, they won't be doing much damage either. For now, though, we'll go ahead and fight Koga. Worst case scenario, if we can't beat him, we'll be able to go to Silphco, grabbing some levels and vitamins that we may need. Also, I had this idea when I was writing through the script. Going forward, I'm going to go ahead and shout out the people who are kind enough to leave a membership to the channel. Obviously, you'll still get your badge, your benefits, stuff like that, but I want to attach a Pokemon to their name. What I'll do is I'll take a random number generator, that'll be your Pokemon, and then I'll go ahead and hopefully start making my way through the Pokédex. It's going to take probably a little bit of effort on my side as we do get a few more memberships, but as of right now, we only have 4, so the 4 of you, thank you. If you want to be the 5th, that would be super cool. Koga starts off with Coughing, and we use Psychic, taking it down in one shot. After that, Muck is next, so we take it to not even half, and it hits us with Toxic. Amazing. We swap to Hex to try to avoid sending it into healing range, and fail that. We do manage to take it out, but as we take it out, we end up going down to the Toxic damage. So yeah, it doesn't sound like we're going to be getting past Koga just yet. So what we'll do is we'll head to Silphco, and we might be able to face the rival, but I doubt it. So we'll go ahead and just clear out the building, fighting through the trainers and grabbing the vitamins. If we can't beat the rival either, we could try Koga one more time, but hopefully we'll be able to beat one of them right after this. Let's see how the rival goes. At this point, we've reached level 46, and we open with Flame Burst on the Pidgeot, taking it down with a critical hit that I'm gonna guess was needed. Blastoise is up next, so we use Confuse Ray, immediately getting a payoff as it smacks itself. We swap to Hex, mostly just trying to test damage, but then the big man slaps himself again, so we actually take it down with full HP remaining. Growlithe comes out and we swap over to Psychic, taking it to red as it uses Agility. It does use Flamethrower, not for much damage, so we could take it down with a Psychic. Execute is next, and not too much of a threat, so we take it out with Flame Burst, and then finally, it's out to Alakazam. We swap back to Hex, knocking it out, and winning the battle. That was a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be, but I am not complaining. Had Blastoise not smacked itself, both those times, I'm guessing we would have gone down. Let's go ahead and see if Giovanni is going to be just as easy for us. Nidorino's up first, and Psychic takes it out in one shot. Then you have Rhyhorn, and another Psychic Blast takes it down too. After that, it's out to Kangaskhan, and a Flame Burst does really solid damage, and since it only tries to use Rage, we take it down. Last but not least is Nidoqueen, and we swap back to Psychic for the super effective damage, taking it into the red. All it does is Poison Sting, and then we just take it down to win the battle. Now we can go to someone who has the potential to be scary, but if I had to guess, probably also going to be a one-shot sweep through most of her Pokemon. Sabrina has a nasty habit of not attacking, even in this particular ROM, so let's take a look and see what happens. Sabrina starts with Kadabra, and we can take it down with a single Hex. Then it's out to Mr. Mime, and another Hex takes it to a Sliver as it uses Calm Mind. Sabrina heals up as we Hex it into the yellow, and then another heal up. Doesn't attack, and after 2 more Hexes, we take it down. Venomoth comes out, we swap over to Flame Burst, taking it down in one shot, and then finally, it's out to Alakazam, and we swap back to Hex as it sets up Calm Mind on the first turn. Rather than attacking, sets up another Calm Mind, but even with that, we still do enough damage to take it down with Hex, winning us the battle. Alright, let's go ahead, we'll head back to Koga now and see if we can finish him off now that we have a few levels on our side. So, I'm not gonna lie, at some point or another, I fought Koga, but I didn't realize till I got into the script and the editing. I have no idea how I missed it, so I'm gonna just do my best to show the winning attempt here. I have no idea how this happened. The good news is we won. If for some reason I'm still struggling to find the footage, I'm just gonna have pictures of my cats and my dog on screen. So, since that's out of the way, and again, not really sure how, we'll go ahead and head off to Cinnabar. This may be an issue, but the good news is moves like Takedown aren't going to be able to hit us, so let's go ahead, fight Blaine, and see how things go. Blaine first starts off with Growlithe, and we open up with Psychic, taking it to yellow, as Bite connects for a solid crit. Blaine heals up, and we take it back to lower health and lower its special. Because of that, when Blaine heals up and we hit it the next time, we actually end up taking it down. Next, he sends out Arcanine, and we open with Confuse Ray, hoping for some luck in this fight. Naturally, though, he breaks through and bites us, but next turn Blaine does use a full heal as we hit it with Hex. We do Confuse it again, and once again that doesn't work, and it takes us to 15 HP. We take it to red, and it smacks itself. Blaine withdraws the Arcanine, and we Hex Ponyta when it comes out, taking it to red, then taking it out before it can attack. Then he sends out Rapidash, and we take it to half as it uses Bounce, and despite it not being a 100% move, it does connect, and we go down. This does take about a dozen attempts, but overall there isn't really anything different that happened in one battle over the others. The biggest difference is that we don't get a critical hit by the bite, and despite Arcanine hitting us, we actually get a crit on one of our attacks, making a normal 3-turn takedown a 2-turn. We do get hit with the bounce from Ponyta and the Rapidash, but since we don't get paralyzed, and with only a few HP to spare, we're able to take both of them down, narrowly winning us the badge. So what we'll do from here is head to Giovanni, and after we get past him and the rival, we can do a little bit of theory crafting on the Elite Four. While we do this little bit of travel, I wanted to ask, because I'm not sure, in an Arceus lock, do you usually count the post-games in games like Heart Gold? Or does the game technically, the Nuzlocke I should say, end as you get into the Hall of Fame? Now that I'm getting into Gen 2, I wanted to be sure that I'm not putting in any extra work that I may not need to. Discord poll is a landslide of yes, but getting into the high levels just for the post-game kind of seems like a pain. Knowing me, I'll probably just do it and then end up complaining the entire time. Giovanni first starts with Rhyhorn, and we open with Psychic, taking it down from the word go. Thank you, Pokemon Stadium announcer. Next out is Dugtrio, and we get a Quick Claw activate to outspeed it and take it down in one shot. Rhyhorn comes out, and we Psychic it as well, taking it down. Nidoqueen is out, and we continue with Psychic to knock it out. Then it's out to Nidoking, and that's a one-shot as well, winning us the battle and getting us through the final badge. Rival time! Pidgeot is up first, so we open with Flame Burst, taking it to yellow as it hits a wing attack for a crit. The rival withdraws and send out Growlithe as we boost its firepower, but then just take it down with a quick Psychic. Rhyhorn is next, and Psychic takes it down pretty quickly, and then after that it's Big Man Blastoise as we use Confuse Ray. Unfortunately, it does break through the confusion and hit us with an attack. We do a bit of damage with Psychic, then take it to red, as it takes us into the red, but we do take it down. Alakazam comes out, and we use Hex to knock it out. Then, the injured Pidgeot comes back out, and we can take it down with a Flame Burst. And then finally, you have Execute, and it also goes down to a single Flame Burst. Alright, now that we're on the way to the Elite Four, we'll go ahead and just cover each of the members. For Lorelei, Dugong and Lapras are going to be the biggest issues on her team. Slowbro and Jinx, those will probably get wrecked by Hex, and Cloyster has no special defense whatsoever to speak of. Then you have Bruno, and his whole team knows Rock Tomb, or at least some rock-based move. But I do think as long as we outspeed him one shot, we should be fine. This is where the Quick Claw is probably going to come in handy. With Agatha, it's kind of the same. We just have to make sure that we outspeed her in one shot, and we should be fine. We will be doing super effective damage to each other, but I think as long as I can out-damage her, we're good. Then Lance, yeah, Lance is going to be a problem. I really have nothing except for attempt to brute force our way through that. Because he has a Dragonite that'll use Safeguard, which means the Confuse Ray won't work. And then for the final rival fight, we're mostly going to have to bank on either Blastoise and missing Hydro Pump, or if we still have Confuse Ray at that point, which we probably will, hitting itself. Overall, though, I've been having a blast using Chandelure, and I have the next 3 runs lined up, but we'll talk about that a little more as we get to the end of the challenge. Now, we're going to go ahead and play the first of many Lorelei attempts. The Dugong she opens with is definitely a bit of an issue, but it's also the Lapras that's causing the bulk of our problems. We either get surfed into oblivion, or, because the Lapras also knows Confuse Ray, we just smack ourselves repeatedly. So after some level ups, a few dozen attempts, and some fish oil tablets to increase Chandelure's mental fortitude, we get this attempt. All the way at level 70, we can take Dugong into the yellow healing range with a Flame Burst. The first turn it does hit a Surf, but after a few turns, we're able to go ahead and take it down. Cloyster is and will always be a one-shot. With Lapras, we open up with Confuse Ray and it smacks itself, and we take it into the yellow as the berry heals it. We take it back to yellow. It smacks itself again, and then we can take it down. Like I suspected during the previous section, Slowbro is a one-shot with Hex. Then, finally, it's out to Jinx. We swap to Flame Burst, taking it down in one shot, and that lets us move on to Bruno. Bruno first starts off with Onix, and we open with Flame Burst, knowing that they do have Sturdy, so maybe we can get a burn to make things easier for us. We don't. Bruno then spends a few turns healing before we take it down. The next Onix, we Confuse Ray, and it smacks itself to break the Sturdy, so then we take it down. Hitmonchan is next, so we get a Quick Claw activation, so we take it down before it can even touch us. Machamp is next, we outspeed, take it to red, and it eats a berry, hitting us with Rock Tomb, and another one connects before we take it down. Last up is Hitmonlee, and the Quick Claw saves us as we take it down, winning the battle. This took about 6 attempts. We basically needed at least one of the Onix to smack itself to break the Sturdy, but now at least we can go ahead and move on. Agatha is our next fight, and she starts off with Gengar as we open with Psychic, taking it down in one shot. Golbat is next, so we swap over to Flame Burst, taking it to yellow as it confuses us. She heals, and we smack ourselves 4 times, and we do finally manage to take the Golbat down. As Haunter comes out, it's a one-shot with Hex, and then Arbok is also a one-shot. Then, finally, her Gengar is out, and it's also a one-shot, winning us a battle that should not have been difficult. Lance is next, and I am very nervous about how this is going to go. Gyarados is first, so we open with Psychic, taking it to not even half. Bite connects, so we use Confuse Ray, then get bit again. For some reason, Lance sends out Dragonair, and it seems to be a 2-shot as he spends some turns healing it. Then it's back to the Gyarados, and we take it down. The next Dragonair's out, we get the Quick Claw activating it, taking it to yellow before going down. Yeah, we're gonna have to spend some time leveling up. If you look here on the screen for a moment, you can see that we're just getting rolled pretty hard in the process. We can sometimes make it all the way to the Dragonite, but by the time that we do, we're actually so beat up, he's just able to take us down. At level 90, Gyarados is first, and we open up with Psychic, and at this level, we do take it to a bit below half, but we're able to at least tank the bite a little bit better. Lance heals a few times before we take it down. Aerodactyl's next, and Psychic takes it to red, as it hits an Ancient Power, getting the Omni Boost, but since its HP is so low, we can take it down. Then, with the 2 Dragonairs, they're now each a 1-shot. Dragonite comes out, we hit it with Psychic, taking it below half, and lowering its special as Outrage takes us all the way to 4 HP. But, due to the lowered special, we knock it out, barely winning us this battle. And with that, we now have just one more battle to go. Pidgeot's first, and he immediately withdraws to Arcanine as we blast it with Psychic next turn, and it uses Flamethrower. We spend a few turns taking it back and forth between all the healing potions, but after an eternity, it finally goes down. Rhyhorn is next, so we swap over to Psychic, taking it down in one go. Then, it's out to Blastoise, and we use Confuse Ray as it misses Hydro Pump. Then we go on the offensive, taking it below half. The berry activates, we use Psychic, taking it down next turn. Pidgeot then comes out, and we use Flame Burst, taking it down with one go. Alakazam comes out, we swap over to Hex, taking it down as well. Then, finally, it's out to Exeggutor, and we swap over to Flame Burst, taking it out, winning the battle, and the run. Alright, with that, that's another challenge in the books, and I definitely want to say thank you to everyone that's watched so far. If you want your name up here and randomly assign Pokemon to your name, make sure to drop a membership, because, frankly, you guys help in more ways that you know. Next week, I've already started a Combuskin run, and I know that it looks like... well, it looks like something. The Discord pulled together and decided that if you don't look too closely at it, it can qualify as a turkey for a Thanksgiving run. That should be up next week. Around this time, probably. I've accepted another editing gig that should be pretty good for some extra funds around the holidays, and if you have any editing questions, or want an editor, both myself or my friend Ramble, I'll include her link down below, are both available. For now, though, I'm gonna get this edited, work on my side commissions, and try to make it through the rest of the year without being sick. Hope all of you have an amazing holiday, and just wanted to take a moment if you've made it this far into the video. I know times are very tough, and I know that they only seem to get harder, but I'm proud of you for being here. If you want a safe place to hang out, watch some Christmas movies as we get closer to that time, or just chat, please join the Discord. Nobody should feel like they're alone, regardless of orientation or gender. With all that, though, and a little bit of fear of rambling too much, I'm just gonna leave it at, if you liked the video, even if you didn't like the video, hit the like and subscribe button, because it really does help me out. And until next time, everybody, peace out!